Hello, this is Professor Mac, and I'm going to be showing you how to do number 4 on page 549. And basically what it says that you have 3 boxes containing balls, and it tells you this kind of convoluted, crazy situation where you're going to take a ball out of the first bag or box or whatever, and then once you draw that, then you're going to put that one into the next box, and then you're going to pull out from those 5. You're going to pull that out, and then you're going to go over here and you're going to drop that in. So now you're going to have 3 in the new one in the third box, and you're going to pull out a ball from that. And then letter A asks, what is the probability of getting a white ball at the end? Well, at first glance you'd think, well, it's 100% because there's only white balls in there. But there is a chance that as you're grabbing balls from each grouping, that you could have a black ball in here that you put in there, and then you could pull that black ball. But it's not as simple as saying that this is definitely a black ball either, because it could be a white ball as well that was dropped in there. And so the first thing that we should do is we should just kind of create a tree diagram to illustrate what's happening here. So the first time that we pull a ball out, we're either going to get a colored ball, which I'm just going to call black, or a white ball. So I'm going to do white or black on my first stage of my tree diagram. And then from there, I could also then in the next pull, once I get a white ball, I could also get a white, or I could get a black. And if I pulled a black, and then I put a black in here, I could either pull a black or a white ball as well. Right, then finally, once I take that ball and I put it in here, then I still run the chance of also grabbing a black or a white ball in my final shot, for the final stage. So this tree diagram illustrates all the different possible outcomes that can happen within this experiment. So I could have a white, 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 black, white, black, white, white, black, 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 white, white, black, white, black, 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 white, and finally 3 blacks all in a row. Now, in this situation, within the problem of A, all they're asking is for me to understand the probability of when I end in white. So that would be these 4 right here. And so eventually I'm going to have to add those, but I'm going to have to figure out probabilities based upon each of these scenarios. So as I go through here, I look at this, and if I were to reach in here and pull a white one out, my probability of doing that would be 4 out of the 5. And that means that for it to be black, it would be 1 out of those 5. Now, assuming that I pull the white out, and I go into the next stage right here, if I pulled the white and that happened to be definitely a white ball, that situation, now I'd have 5 balls instead of the original 4 in the next box, and I could also see that I have 3 out of the 5 that are white. And then, assuming that I pull a white, the next one over here would then be a definite 1 out of 1, because 3 out of 3 is equal to 1 out of 1. So it's a definite possibility that I will get, it's a certain probability that I would get a white in this scenario in the third stage. So what I do is, because I'm going from stage to stage, I multiply those fractions. So for white, 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 I would do 4/5 times 3/5 times 1 over 1 or let's just go ahead and keep it 3 over 3, because that way we'll keep the same fraction over here. So I'll go 5 times 5 times 3, which equals 75. And then 4 times 3 is 12. And then 12 times 3 is 36. Now, if I run that same process here to get this one here, I'd go white, which is 4/5. If it was a white, then I would only have a 2/5 chance of getting a black. And then assuming that it's a black now here, then I would have a 1 out of 3 chance for black. So that would be white, black. I'm sorry, I want to go up here. I went for the white, black, black. I really want the white, black, white. So it's actually 2/3 chance because 2 out of the 3 are white balls. So then I'm going to go and multiply all of my probability fractions. And I get 75 on the bottom. And I get 4 times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. The next one I want is black, white, white. If I follow that, now I have a 1/5 chance of black. That means that when I do that, I'm going to come over here. This is now a black ball. And so, therefore, the chances of getting the white are only 2/5 likely. And then the chances of getting a white another time, if I bring this over and it's white again, it would be 1 out of 1. Or 3 out of 3. Let's do 3 out of 3 so we keep the same denominator here. So that's 1/5, 2/5, and 3/3. That's 6 out of 75. And finally, I'm going to go to the black, black, white. And so I'm going to get a 1/5 chance for the black. That's now assuming that I get a black in the second one that I've added. So the second box gets a black added to it. So to get a black, then another black would be a 3/5 chance. And then if I do that, then I'm sending a black over here. So now I have a 2/3 chance of getting a white. So that's 6 out of 75. Now what I do is I take my 36 plus 16 plus 6 plus 6 all over 75. Because really I'm just adding all these fractions together. And that will give me a 64 out of 75 chance of grabbing white out of on the last box.